This shocking twist in the double homicide of an Ohio dentist and his wife that happened just before New Year's. A suspect now charged and arrested, and we are learning he was previously married to one of the victims. Michael McKee is now facing 2 counts of murder in connection with the deaths of Spencer and Monique Tepe. Now, he is Monique's ex-husband. The couple was found fatally shot in their Ohio home while their 2 children and the dog were unharmed inside. Police were able to zero in on him as a suspect because of surveillance video in the neighborhood around the time the couple was murdered. Now, from those videos, they tracked McKee's vehicle, finding it in Rockford, Illinois. McKee is expected to appear in court in Illinois tomorrow, Monday. A new development tonight, a community coming together to honor Spencer and Monique for their funeral that took place today. And for more, we are joined by Jennifer Coffindaffer tonight, law and justice contributor for NewsNation and former special agent with the FBI. Jennifer, thanks for joining us on this case.
Thanks for having me.
And one of the details early on in this investigation, both the children were found physically unharmed inside of the house. No signs of forced entry at that home. What does that information immediately indicate about the person who did this?
Well, it indicated certainly that they knew this couple well, that they had staked out the location well. It was also very clear they knew where the camera locations were because they evaded a lot of camera coverage, it would seem. And so somehow he came across that entry code to enter the residence.
McKee himself, a vascular surgeon in Illinois and California, according to the Columbus Dispatch. His medical license record showing no disciplinary history or no malpractice there. And then his criminal records only showing traffic-related tickets in the past. He has been charged. He has not been convicted. Are you surprised by the previous profile of this suspect?
Not really. When I look at this case, we knew it was going to be very personal for somebody to go up in the bedroom and kill these individuals with a gun. So we knew it was very personal, somebody who knew them. What is interesting, though, this divorce happened about 9 years ago. They were married for such a brief time, only 7 months. And so that is strange, but I think it was a deep-seated resentment and hate that just built up and finally came to this conclusion.
And we know the murders happened just before the couple was about to celebrate an anniversary. I mean, is there anything to that timing that is significant or jumping out to you?
I think it could be. You know, when I look back at the Brown University shootings, Natasha, remember that individual, now that we have his sort of manifesto of why he did it, he had a deep-seated resentment that stayed with him for 3 years. I think that this could be a situation that's very similar, that it just built up over time and finally came to a head. And probably that anniversary could have been part of the reason.
Talk to me more about how this suspect was identified and found, because you say he did seem to have some knowledge of surveillance cameras and trying to evade them, but he was ultimately found, interestingly, through surveillance footage in that neighborhood that police used. They saw him entering around the time before this was suspected to happen and then leaving afterwards, and then they used all of this to track his vehicle during a 10-day manhunt. Walk us through what that investigation looks like.
Right, exactly, Natasha. He couldn't evade all the cameras. There were just too many ring cameras and street cameras. And that footage from that alley between 2 and 5 a.m. was critical for law enforcement. Once they had him on camera, they could continue following that path that he took, which ultimately led to the vehicle he entered. That vehicle he entered then was registered to him. It was his vehicle, and they found him in Illinois. So great police work in tracking through that video surveillance.
And obviously this case so tragic, and one thinks about these 2 young children, the dog in the house. Is there anything that we should be taking away from a case like this?
I think the one thing is if there is a domestic situation that just keeps on lingering, and I would believe it's going to come out that some people knew about maybe some issues, maybe a recontract, maybe had some concern, that they really have to take these things seriously. This individual was obviously, if it ends up being him, very disturbed.
Yeah, and tell me more about that, Jennifer. If someone like the wife here, Monique, were to have reached out to you before this happened and say, I'm concerned, I have an ex, he's not letting us be, what would you tell them to do?
Well, First of all, I would say, obviously, get rid of all contact, block everything, don't let them communicate. Secondarily, I would say, get rid of those punch pad entry codes. Too many people likely had that. They had their wedding there. You need deadbolts. You need locks on your doors that are secure, that no one knows except for your family. Those were the two major things that I think might have led to this.
Jennifer Coffindaffer, appreciate the analysis as always. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Natasha.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.